Hello, welcome back again to Arsenal, the Ganas Arsenal's triple statement signings, Rodrygo, Isak and Eze. When the summer of 2025 arrived, few could have predicted that Arsenal would deliver one of the most remarkable transfer windows in recent Premier League history. After years of steady progression under Mikel Arteta, the club decided it was time to go all in for greatness. The Emirates Stadium buzzed with excitement as news broke. Rodrygo goes from Real Madrid, Alexander Isak from Newcastle United, and Eberechi Eze from Crystal Palace had all signed for Arsenal. This wasn't just business. It was a bold declaration that Arsenal were ready to fight for the Premier League crown and the Champions League at the same time. The arrival of 3 stars, each with unique qualities, promised to reshape the squad's identity and elevate it to a new level. Rodrygo goes. The Brazilian jewel. Rodrygo had already carved out his reputation at Real Madrid as a clutch performer on the biggest nights. His Champions League heroics, goals against Manchester City and Chelsea, cemented his status as a big-game player. Yet, in Spain, he often played in the shadows of Vinicius Jr. and Jude Bellingham. Arsenal offered him something different, the chance to be the face of a project. At Arsenal, Rodrygo's technical brilliance, silky dribbling, and eye for goal were exactly what the club had lacked in wide areas. His ability to cut inside, combine with Martin Odegaard, and link up with Bukayo Saka promised fireworks. When he was unveiled at the Emirates, he said, "I want to create history here. Arsenal is building something special, and I believe I can help them reach the top." Fans immediately saw him as the perfect balance to Saka, 2 wingers capable of destroying defences in different ways. Rodrygo brought Brazilian flair, composure in front of goal, and Champions League winning experience to a team desperate for a European breakthrough. Alexander Isak, the new number 9. The signing of Isak was equally monumental. Arsenal had long needed a true striker who combined elegance with ruthlessness. Gabriel Jesus and Eddie Nketiah had been useful, but neither possessed the sheer presence and finishing ability of Isak. Tall, technically gifted and ice-cold in front of goal, Isak had become a star at Newcastle. His runs in behind, his composure in one-on-one situations, and his ability to drop deep and link play made him one of Europe's most sought-after forwards. Arsenal, however, won the race. Isak's words at his first press conference reflected his ambition. "This is the perfect time for me to take the next step. Arsenal's style suits me. I want to score goals, but more importantly, I want to win trophies with this team." Arteta viewed him as the missing piece of the attack. With Isak leading the line, supported by Rodrygo on the left and Saka on the right, Arsenal finally had a front 3 to rival the best in the world. Eberechi Eze, the creative spark. If Rodrygo was the jewel and Isak the spearhead, then Eze was the magician who could unlock defences with moments of pure artistry. Long admired for his flair at Crystal Palace, Eze brought rhythm, unpredictability and creativity. His ability to glide past opponents, pick out clever passes and score from distance made him a unique addition to Arsenal's midfield options. With Declan Rice providing steel and Odegaard offering control, Eze brought improvisation and risk-taking, the element that often separates good teams from great ones. When asked about the move, Eze smiled and said, "I want to express myself here. Arsenal is a club that allows players to play with freedom, but also demands excellence. That combination excites me." Arteta valued his versatility. Eze could play as a central attacking midfielder, a left-sided playmaker, or even drop deeper when needed. He was a tactical weapon that Arsenal had previously lacked. The dream, it seems, taking shape. With these 3 signings, Arsenal's starting 11th suddenly looked like a powerhouse. GK, Raya Def, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko. Mid, Rice, Odegaard, Eze ATT, Saka, Isak, Rodrygo. The balance was extraordinary. Rodrygo and Saka stretched defences, Isak occupied central defenders, Odegaard orchestrated, Eze added flair, and Rice ensured security. Saliba's dominance at the back gave the whole team confidence. Analysts immediately tipped Arsenal to be title favourites. Commentators described the team as complete, with no obvious weakness. The fans' reaction. The Emirates had seen many great players, but this trio arriving in one window was almost surreal. Supporters poured into the club shop to buy shirts with Rodrygo number 11, Isak number 9, and Eze number 10. Social media erupted with excitement. Memes, chants, and hype videos flooded platforms within minutes. Long-time fans compared the feeling to when Thierry Henry and Dennis Bergkamp once graced the club. Others said it was even bigger because Arsenal were competing against financial giants like Manchester City and Paris Saint-Germain and still managed to pull off world-class signings. The training ground. Buzz. At London Colney, the impact was immediate. Training sessions became more intense as established stars like Gabriel Martinelli, Kai Havertz, and Leandro Trossard pushed harder to prove their worth. Competition for places soared, but in a positive way. Arteta emphasised togetherness, reminding the squad that signings were made not to replace anyone, but to strengthen the collective. Players responded by raising their levels. Reports from training described Rodrygo dazzling defenders, Isak finishing chances with ice-cold precision, and Eze combining beautifully with Odegaard in tight spaces. One insider said, "It feels like Arsenal has gone from a very good team to a potentially unstoppable one." The bigger picture. These signings weren't just about football, they were about identity. Arsenal wanted to be seen again as a global powerhouse, not just a team in transition. The club's financial backing, Arteta's tactical vision, and Edu's clever recruitment strategy all converged in this historic moment. By bringing in Rodrygo, Isak and Eze, Arsenal had sent a message. They were done chasing. Now they were leading. Sponsors lined up, ticket sales skyrocketed, and global media outlets turned their attention to North London. The Emirates was no longer just a stadium. It was the stage for a new football dynasty. What comes next? The challenge, of course, would be blending these stars into a unit. Talent alone does not guarantee success. Arteta's task was to manage egos, maintain balance, and ensure harmony. But if anyone could do it, it was him. The coach who had already transformed Arsenal from Europa League hopefuls into Premier League challengers. The first test would come in the Community Shield against Manchester City. Fans eagerly awaited the chance to see their new heroes in action. Could Isak outscore Erling Haaland? Could Rodrygo terrorise City's defence? Could Eze dance through midfield? The answers would come soon enough. But one thing was certain. Arsenal had taken a massive leap forward, and the football world was watching.